These days, you can go on to places like PropStream and get these lists and start sending text messages. And all of a sudden, you could be attempting to do some wholesale deals. But the problem there is that it is competitive. If it's easy to get the information, then it's going to be a lot more competitive. From there can sometimes be risks on the contracts. You need to make sure you're using the right contract. In fact, the very first wholesale deal I did like 20 years ago, I used the wrong contract. I got the wrong contract from the seller and the wrong contract from the buyer. And then it was a nightmare because I had to go back and get each party to sign again. And it was a real pain in the butt. So there's that. So now let's talk about the wholesaling showdown here with tax lien investing. All right. So tax lien investing is a great tool. It's safe, secure, it's predictable. It's been around like 200 years. All right, pretty much since all of the land was made. Maybe not quite that far back, but you can earn anywhere between 8 to 24 to even 36% interest on the property, which is absolutely awesome. With tax liens, there's going to be less competition because you actually need money to do this business, meaning with tax liens, you want to have money set aside to buy a tax lien and get that interest rate. Now, the nice thing as well is you can start also, let me say this, you can start with a small amount of money with tax liens to get into the game. However, if you really want to make interest, you'll need to invest, whatever, reverse engineer. If you want to make 10 grand a year in interest, you'll need to invest, 70, 100 grand to be getting the residual income off of that tax lien certificate. So that's great. Now, the other thing that's great about tax liens, say you take $100,000 and you invest in tax lien certificates at say 16% in Arizona. The beauty of tax liens is they're safe, secure, and predictable. So you're going to get 95% of the time the lien is going to redeem. All right. So you're going to get your money back. However, the 5% of the time when that lien does not redeem, you're going to get huge home runs with it. So for example, if you bought a $1,000 lien on a $100,000 house, what's going to happen is you can foreclose and get that $100,000 house for probably a couple grand, because you'll have the lien that you bought for the grand. You'll have the subsequent taxes as well. And then you'll have to go and do a foreclosure proceeding.